Good evening. Welcome to State of Business. You're with me, Madhusha Tavapalakumar. Let's take a look at tonight's headlines first. GMOA to step up fight against private medical college. Number of migrant workers declines following a new wage circular. And now the stories in detail. Government Medical Officers Association requests the President to take over Ministries of Health and Higher Education for 48 hours to vest the Malabar Private Medical College with public. The GMOA Secretary Dr. Naveen D. Soisa made this request addressing the media in Colombo today.
මේ ප්‍රමිතිගත කිරීමේ ක්‍රියාවලිය ආරම්භ කරන්න සයිටම් අර්බුදය කියන්නේ එකක් රටට පෞද්ගලික වෛද්‍ය විද්‍යාලය එහෙම නැත්නම් පෞද්ගලික වෛද්‍ය අධ්‍යාපනය අවශ්‍යද නැද්ද කියන කාරණේ තවත් කාරණයක්. මේ කාරණා දෙක පටලවලා රටට වෛද්‍ය අධ්‍යාපනයක් ඕනේද නැද්ද කියන එක රටේ සාක්ෂරතා අධ්‍යයනයක් කරලා රටේ විද්වතුන් එක්ක කතා කරලා එහෙම ඕනේද නැද්ද කියන එක තීරණය කරන්න. ඒ තීරණය කරලා එන එකත් ප්‍රමිතිගත කරන්න. ඒක රාජ්‍යාන්තරයට ගත යුතුමයි. ඒ ආයතනයේ රාජ්‍යාන්තරයට අරගෙන ජනසතු කරලා ඒ දරුවන්ගෙන් වෛද්‍යවරු වීමට හැකි පිරිස් උතුරු කොළඹ වෛද්‍ය විද්‍යාලය කරත් එහෙමයි. ඒ හිටපු පිරිසකින් වෛද්‍යවරු වීමට හැකි පිරිස් වලට වෛද්‍යවරු වීමේ හැකියාව ලබා දෙන්න පුළුවන් රාජ්‍ය ආන්තරණයක් යටතේ ජනසතු කිරීමෙන් පසු.
MP Dinesh Gunawardena reveals that the number of Sri Lankan domestic workers leaving the country for employment has declined significantly following a recent circular. The circular was issued by the Foreign Employment Bureau in line with a budget proposal seeking to increase the minimum wages of the migrant workers.
The number of Sri Lankans going to the Middle East for work had declined significantly. At present, there are about 1.5 million Sri Lankan migrant workers and they contribute over $7.2 billion annually to the economy, the biggest contributor by any sector. The question is, will the Honourable Minister make a clear statement about this clarification, whether she stands by the circular increasing the minimum wage for migrant workers overseas, or whether she is conversing a reversal of the circular which was based on the budget proposal which was approved by the House.
For the budget proposals of 2017, minimum salary of Sri Lankan migrant workers to be increased up to $350 per month and skilled workers $450 per month. Accordingly, Treasury instructions have been received on 20th January 2017 to implement these budget proposals. Hence, circular has been issued by the Chairman Sri Lanka Bureau of Foreign Employment on 27th January 2017 to all licensed foreign employment agents to implement these budget proposals with effect from 1st February 2017. However, most of labor receiving countries are not ready to minimum wages of migrant workers. Further, there are many countries which send workers are on low salaries. As a result, there is a possibility of losing job opportunities for Sri Lankan, and it will in turn have an impact on the overall remittances. Considering the above, I have proposed to the Cabinet of Ministers to grant a grace period of 1 year for the implementation of budget proposals.
Commercial Bank says value of its assets has crossed 1 trillion rupee mark to become the first local commercial bank to achieve that mark. The bank says during 2016, the bank's loan book and deposits both grew by more than 100 billion rupees. It has also paid 9.3 billion rupees by way of direct taxes. Commercial Bank reported a profit before income tax of 20.051 billion rupees for 2016. The 16.96% growth achieved in PBT was bettered by the growth in profit after tax, which improved by 21.92% to 14.513 billion rupees during 2016. Gross income of the bank improved by a noteworthy of 15.275 billion rupees or 19.62% to 93.143 billion rupees, helped by a strong contribution from core banking activities with increased business volumes. See you after this break. Welcome back. Professor Pratap Bhanu Mehta, one of the leading political scientists from India, delivered a public lecture under the title Implications of Incorporating Socio-Economic Rights in the Constitution. The event was organized by Advocata Institute. Professor Mehta leads the Center for Policy Research, one of India's top think tanks.
Now, I was reading the Sri Lankan sort of select committee report on rights. It's a wonderful document. And one of the things I like about it is its great emphasis on rights that need to be protected, which our courts aren't in India as well as globally, right to privacy and so on and so forth. But one thing that sort of struck me, I think, and this is last thought kind of based on comparative experience. I think it's inevitable that there will be some form of social and economic rights in any 21st century constitutions. I think as I said, the momentum in that direction is very high. My only recommendation for consideration would be the following, which is that if any constitution does end up putting a social and economic right in the constitution, it should at the same time provide a clear legislative framework to put underneath it, right? So just to take one example, let us say you do have a right to health. Now, what does a right to health entail? The European drafting on this, ESHR, is very interesting. It says everyone has the right to preventive health care and the right to benefit from medical treatment under conditions established by national law and practices. Right? It's a conditional right. Now, what you need to do is specify what these national law and practices are.
See you after this break. Welcome back. Trading at the Colombo Stock Exchange ended in a mixed note today. The all-share price index gained 2.20 points to close at 6,129.69. And S&P SL 20 index dropped 5.87 points to close the session at 3,538.85. The turnover was 482.6 million rupees and 12.7 million shares were traded. High net worth and institutional investor participation was witnessed in Commercial Bank, John Keells Holdings, Selinco Insurance and Central Finance Company. Mixed interest was observed in TJ Lanka, whilst retail interest was noted in Axis Engineering. Meanwhile, foreigners remained active, closing as net buyers. Next is Forex rates. Thank you for joining with us. We'll meet you tomorrow at the same time. Until then, take care. Good night.